We live in a dual world, a world of black and white, up, down, left, right. Happy, sad, you, me. We see ourselves as separate human beings living on planet Earth amongst billions of separate human beings. Some of these beings we know, most we don't know. Some we like, some we don't like. If we subscribe to the self-development movement, then we believe that our separate individual self can be developed, can grow. It is up to us to become a success and make a difference in the world. Non-duality is a way of looking at life that questions basic assumptions. Is there a separate self? Who am I? Who or what makes the decisions in my life? Is there a self that needs developing? Is there an underlying sense of unity beneath the apparent diversity of opposites? In India, non-duality is known as Advaita. Advaita is one of the oldest forms of Vedanta philosophy as described in the ancient Vedic scriptures. Notable sages who have taught Advaita include Ramana Maharishi, Nisargadatta, and Shankara. There are many teachers of non-duality around today, including Ramesh Balsekar, Tony Parsons, and Nathan Gill.
And the problem with words like Advaita and non-duality is that they've been turned into a sort of religion. So people think of non-duality and Advaita as a sort of another way of living. But in fact, the whole idea behind, for instance, the word of Advaita is something that's very explosive. It's not some sort of another idea that can just be adopted and taken on board like a religious idea. It's actually an energetic shift that happens. So Advaita means not to, which is non-dualism. And it's something that happens. It's not something that you can creep up on or learn to understand. And if you're going to talk about non-duality, it's very difficult. It's very rare to hear a message which is truly non-dual and which is all-encompassing and without any compromise. All over the world now, there are all sorts of people who are selling what they call non-duality, and it just simply isn't that. Because people are giving lip service to the idea that there is only oneness, and then they're telling individuals that they have a choice to be in oneness or not. Advaita, the word Advaita, points to something which can't be described, but it also makes an absolute nonsense of the idea that there's something called a seeker that has to find something else called oneness. So, non-duality can't be really truly described. You could talk around it, but you can't really describe it.
Non-duality is like the vast sky. It's like trying to take the blue out of the sky.
So, what is non-duality? At this moment, I haven't a clue.
To me, it must be something that's behind form, because it can't be form, because otherwise it would be dual. So it's something beyond the form. So it must be something shimmering behind where form got sung from. So it's something, maybe it's the thought of the song that the gods sang to bring things into form. I don't know, it's something, there's some layering of behindness, of behind the behind, before things got sang into form. That's as far as I can get to answer your question.
Thank you. What is non-duality?
Haven't a clue. I've always, I guess from my tradition, which is a Western Christian tradition, I've always been repelled at the idea that there's somehow separation from God. So I suppose the nearest thing I could say around Advaita would be, it must be something to do with experiencing that non-separation. But I don't know any more than that.
Seeing through the dream of individuality and the enjoying of that non-separation, really. It's just something that's very difficult to talk about, one of those indescribable things.
Well, non-duality is just a word which tries to do the impossible, really. It's pointing to something which is so far beyond words that I sometimes wonder why we bother to speak about it at all. So there's a huge amount of irony and paradox involved with this, really, and basically any sense that I as an individual have that I can do something. I can, for example, meditate, I can chant, I can follow gurus, I can purify myself spiritually, I can clean out my chakras. Any sense that I can do that, as long as that's there, that will simply be there. Because there is no person, there is no one who can stop doing that if it's heard that it might be a good idea to stop doing that. Just as there's no one who can choose to do any of the searching or not to do it. And this can seem extremely frustrating to the person. But nevertheless, it's possible that that sense of the individual may simply drop away. The sense of dissatisfaction that a separate individual has, which creates a need to search for something to end that dissatisfaction. And that search can take all sorts of forms. I've talked about the spiritual forms it can take. It can take many other forms as well. It can take material forms, for example. For example, I now seek to end my sense of satisfaction by building myself a lovely house in the country, or getting myself a better job, or by following a guru. It really makes no difference. But when the sense of being a separate person drops away, it is absolutely the end of any kind of searching, because it's seen that not only is there nothing to search for, because this is already sufficient, this is all there is, and this is already enough, but it's seen also that there never was anything to search for, there never had been anything to search for.
So, what is non-duality? It's a sort of question that can't be answered. And the purpose of this film is not to answer the question, but is to ask the question. Because what is non-duality is something that can't be answered by the mind, something that the mind, the intellect, cannot grasp. It's something that we cannot work out with our minds. And yet there is the possibility of a shift in perspective, a shift in our energies, a shift in how we see the world, how we perceive the world, a shift away from the emphasis on the differences in the world, the differences between you and me, us and them, a shift into seeing an awareness, a presence of unity, of oneness and of wholeness. So, ask yourself the question, what is non-duality?